Friday the 17th of July. This is the ETX Capital Morning Market Buy. Both US and Asian stocks closed higher in their respective sessions as Chinese shares extended their recovery, and a set of strong earnings by US companies such as Netflix and eBay pushed markets northward, with the Nasdaq up more than 1% to close at 5163, which is another record high for this year. The Dow closed 70 points higher at 18120. The S&P 500 moved up 16 points to close at 2124. The euro was in touching distance of a 7-year low against the dollar at 1.0855. The dollar briefly hit a 3-week high of 124.35 yen, receiving an uplift against its peers after positive US claims data kept up expectations that there would be a rate hike in the US interest rates this year. Sterling was buying 1.5625, up 0.2%, scaling back to a 2-week peak of 1.5676 hit on Wednesday. After the Royal Bank of Canada moved interest rates, the loonie last traded at 1.2954, within touching distance of 1.2974 hit earlier in the session. The Aussie dollar moved away from its 6-year low against the greenback, climbing 0.1% to trade around the 0.7350 level, and the Kiwi dropped 65 cents for the first time in 6 years before calming down and trading around the 0.6537 level. US crude moved up 0.1% to 50.98 a barrel, and Brent rose 0.3% to 57.09 a barrel. Some interesting news coming out of the Bank of England, with Governor Mark Carney saying yesterday that the decision to hike interest rates from record low levels was come into sharper relief, potentially later in the year. Carney reinforced the rhetoric that when rates to rise, it would be gradual and to levels about half as high as historical averages. Over to the Greek debt deal situation, and Europe moved to reopen funding to Greece's stricken economy on Thursday after the Parliament in Athens approved a new bailout programme in a fractious vote that left the government without a majority. Eyes are now on today's meeting in Germany, where the German Parliament is to vote on whether to allow negotiations on Greece's €86 billion bailout deal. Chancellor Angela Merkel has urged MPs to back the deal, saying she was absolutely convinced it was the way forward. So within the equity space this morning, British Airways owner International Consolidated Airlines takeover of Aer Lingus edged closer yesterday as the US regulator gave its approval, and the Irish carrier's shareholders backed special resolutions linked to the deal. Investors in Aer Lingus now have until July the 30th to accept the €1.3 billion offer. IAG stock actually opened 0.5% lower this morning at 556p per share. So important macroeconomic data this morning. We've got US CPI at 130. The figure is 0.2 versus 0.1 previous. The FTSE this morning is down around at 8 points, trading at 6783. The DAX is down around about 11 points, trading at the 11725 level. That was a morning market buy. Thank you very much.